Would the choir please join me? That's your cue. Choir, please. Shalom. Good to see you. I think it's on the right side. There is a teen in the library who's supposed to be there, meaning that if they're offering babysitting services, what else do I need to know? There's coloring and toys and games. Okay, but you have to be under what age? Because I see some people who are adults who are getting really tempted by this.
You'll have to tip if you're over 10.
You have to tip if you're over 10. Okay. Oh, you were awesome. Thank you very much. Okay. So we have entered, we have a lot going on. We're not going to light the candles yet because one is not supposed to technically blow the shofar during Shabbat. We have entered the month of Elul, and this is the time when we are spiritually preparing for the upcoming high holidays. And it reminds us of the inner work that we always are looking to do, and which of course means practicing this, which I haven't done. Let's find out whether these lips are prepared for the high holidays. So there is not actually a special service. I did a whole lot of research on this in recent years for the blasting of the shofar during Elul. There are lots of different traditions on it, but the basic is kind of a blast on each, just I think to give us a taste of it. So since I can't do the call and the blast at the same time, you're going to help me out with the call. So the melody is Tikiya. So you see the first one is Tikiya. Let me hear you all do Tikiya. And then we need a Shivarim. And then we need a Trua. And then we need a Tikiya. We saved the big fancy ones for high holidays, so no. I'm hearing more shofar calls over there. Okay, it's fine now, thanks. Awesome. If you haven't checked out the emails coming out, we've got Elul emails coming out to explore and check out. Thank you so much to Susanna. Is anyone helping you on that? Or you're pretty much on your own. She's amazing. Okay, thank you. We have a whole lot of things going on in service, first of which is the lighting of the Shabbat candles. We would like to call all the moms, Sunday school moms, any mom who wants to, including especially Gianna, to come on up for the lighting of our Shabbat candles. That was a cue. Come on, Sunday school moms. Anyone who considers themselves a mom. We're gonna light the candles and then we've got all sorts of other stuff happening. No, yeah. You have other parts. And if you have not led a Sunday school program for 30 years, you're excused. And I would like to add to Gianna coming up here. Suzanne, you can come on up too. Representing first your own children, starting with your son Sam. This way. Over here.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sam. I am Gianna's youngest son. So this is my mom. You can do it. Can I say that? Yeah, of course you can.
I don't know what it is.
My son, the doctor.
Yeah.
Okay, so just really quickly, I just a little bit to say in honor of her, on behalf of myself and also my older brother and sister, Ari and Eliana, who can't be here tonight, but they've approved everything I said, sort of. So I do just want to start by saying it's pretty amazing. I think on the stained glass out there is 1992, right? It says it down there? That's when the building was?
That sounds right, yes.
Yeah, anyway, so that also happens to be my birthday. So I was born in 1992, and that was also when she started working here, because there was no building here before. So the building was built, and then she started working here, and I've heard, carrying me, her less than 1-year-old, and that was it. From then on, all the way up until just a year ago, she was here all the time. I was here all the time. It was really another home. It was pretty great, and sort of not just the building and the grounds and the work, but also, of course, all of you really made it another home. So that was really nice, is really nice still. Just 2 quick things. First of all, I think you probably thought that I never read this book, but you got me this book a while ago, Judaism's 10 Best Ideas by Arthur Green. Very small, very easy to read book, very cute. But one of the things I liked about it, thinking about you, he says, if you were to ask me what single precept of Judaism is the one to which Jews feel the greatest commitment, I could answer completely without hesitation. You shall teach them diligently to your children. So the commandment to educate, to pass the legacy of tradition and knowledge from generation to generation, and sort of be a link from previous generations to the future generations. And she did such an incredible job of that, of course, to so many people, including myself and my siblings. And not just teaching, the facts and the traditions, but also teaching how to think and asking why and things like that. And sort of just how to be a good person the way she treats people. So very proud of all of that. And just a thanks, Rabbi. Just a really quick little prayer from reformjudaism.org that I changed just a little bit. It says me, I guess it's for you, but I'm going to use me because I just can't change it that much. Sustain me, Adonai, fountain of life, with faith the best is yet to be, for opportunities now await me. There is blessing that only the maturity of age can bring. There is a preparedness, a confidence that experience alone can yield. May I find the sweetness of that joy that is reserved for those who serve others through the counsel and guidance learned in the school of life. Let me never lose that sense of wonder that stirs within me and that beckons me to greet each day with zest. Thus will my life be renewed and blessed, and thus will I bring blessing to the world and myself in the years to come. And we can all say, Amen.
Let's be honest, nobody wants to follow that. But Shabbat Shalom. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Susanna Grant. I'm the Director of Education here at TBI. Most people who hear the phrase WWJD think, what would that other guy do? I think, what would Gianna do? After all, she made this position what it is. She started when she was younger than I am, which is amazing because I'm only 26. And she worked for over 30 years as a religious school director before retiring. So I have the privilege of honoring her tonight. Gianna, so she worked in the religious school for 30 years, but more than that, she was a leader in the community. So the religious school is here celebrating our return for another year. Our board is here being introduced and recognized for service, and we are all here to honor Gianna Francis and say thank you. I was 25, a new convert and high school teacher when Gianna asked me to teach at religious school, which I did for 2 years, never thinking that 20 years later I would have the honor of working with her again, and then take over the program she dedicated decades to. She has left an amazing legacy. As Director of Education, Gianna was acutely aware of her purpose and recognized when she needed to adapt to changing times, population, and the needs of her school. She added experiential opportunities for students and families. She brought in community members to be specialists, so our students had unique experiences seeing Judaism through an artistic, musical, or an archaeological lens, just to name a few. One of the greatest gifts she left me, and possibly the thing she is most proud of, is creating multiple opportunities within the school program for our teens to take a part. They're teaching assistants, they're our librarians and specialists, they're Hebrew tutors and teachers. She's been such a strong influence in the lives of her teachers and students and families, encouraging, providing reflective advice, and suggesting resources within our community, connecting and supporting all of those in her sphere. I interviewed Gianna for an assignment in the master's program at Hebrew Union College, a degree that she completed in her tenure as education director here. She talked about her first mentor at TBI, Rabbi Robert Siegel. He made sure she attended conferences, received copies of every book from every publishing company. He listened to her ideas and led by example as one of the most ethical people she knew. He also helped her learn how to pick her battles. And as I reflected on what her mentor had done for her, I realized she did this for me and still does. She left me a huge array of materials, answers my calls and questions, shares where things are, helps me flesh out ideas, and I know she wants me and the whole school to succeed. And I don't think that's something that predecessors often do. So I know how special a gift Gianna is, and I think I came to that a little bit later than all of you, because you got here before I did. Gianna, I want to share one thing from the board as a thank you. We are gifting you a lifetime membership to Temple Beth Israel and a plaque. Just kidding, I know you don't like the plaque. You will notice, however, a picture will be adorning our walls, which will tell the continuing legacy of Gianna and our gratitude for her service. This says, coming soon to a wall of fame near you. We're just waiting on the picture, but it'll be up there. So now I want all of you to do something for me. If you've had Gianna as a religious school director, please stand. If your children had Gianna as a religious director, please stand. If you've benefited from any of the programming Gianna has led, created, helped with, such as adult education, Purim Junior, Sukkot, adult education, Shabbat services, please stand. If she welcomed you into temple, answered your questions, or brought any joy with her laugh and smile, please stand. Look around you and see all the lives Gianna has touched, the legacy she has left. Please join me in a round of applause and thanks for Gianna's many years of service.
Okay, so first of all, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, that was really cool to see pretty much everyone here that I know stand. I even saw a few people that I don't know stand, which is great. Like, the more the merrier. And maybe I'll get to know you someday in the future. So Susanna called me at 3:45 today, texted me to ask if I wanted to say a few words. Now, that might have been a strategy to keep me from talking too much. This is something that Rabbi's been trying to do with me during my bar mitzvah speeches to kids for numerous years, never succeeded. In any case, that strategy would backfire because by only giving me a few hours, I don't have time to edit what I wanted to say. So I could talk on for a while, but I will it's somewhat short, but, 30 years, it's really hard to even know what to begin with and how to pick out any of the high points or the low points of that time. But during those 30 years, I met a lot of educators from a lot of other congregations during biennials and different classes and such. And one thing I was always struck by was how supportive my congregation was. And this is all through the years. This is every rabbi, this is every board. There was always a lot of griping and complaining about our board, and our board doesn't care about the school, and I never felt that in all my years at TBI. I really think that this congregation understands how critical the school is and how important it is that our children have a meaningful, good time here at TBI, especially because we're so isolated here in the Central Valley. There might be a lot of Jews in LA and a lot of Jews in San Francisco, but there's not a lot of Jews here. And this congregation has always understood that and has always supported myself and the school. I have a whole list of people here, and I realized that I really would like to say all of these names, but then I'm afraid that I might forget some other names, so I'm gonna not for now, except to mention just a few people that really have been my linchpins and sort of my saviors for different reasons over the years. And I would start with Andrea Broadsley. She says she's watching from home. She has been a teacher here since the day I got here. So she's actually been teaching here longer than I've been here. And she was really the first person that greeted me in the school building all of those many years ago and gave me all of her support. Linda Garfinkel, who's no longer a member of the congregation, I could not have done this without Linda earlier on. And then there's Stephanie and Sharon. And Stephanie's here, minus baby. Okay, so. For many, many years, like Stephanie, Sharon, and I just made everything happen, and they were really my everything. And Amy. So Amy, and whatever I needed, but most particularly Purim Jr. Then there were a few people that saved me, because not only did I run the school, but there were many times that I was sort of stuck somehow running the temple office and running the temple. And Elizabeth and Soretta and Mary Ann and Andy Karsh and Ariel actually were the people that really came to my rescue. I could not, honestly, have run this temple without them. I had some amazing comprehensive youth committee chairs. I had Linda Garfinkel, I had Barry Price, I had Carla Conway, Tamara Treisman, Marnie Cotter, Alita Wolf, they're both here tonight, and Lisa Lopez. And every one of those comprehensive youth committee chairs were just, again, amazingly supportive for me. All of the 4 rabbis that I have worked with, every one of them in their own special way has made my job easier, more interesting, more fun, rarely more challenging, really, honestly. And if it was a challenge, for the most part, it was a good challenge. And again, the board consistently, the presidents of this congregation, one after the other, all the way from Rail Sachs through Terry Fox and Jerry Mann, Bill Leifer, and now Alan, not with me, but with my son, have just been amazingly and wonderfully supportive. When our youth group was vibrant, I had Bob Borrow, I had Howard Garfinkel, I had Sharon Smith, And Daniel Klein, anybody remember Daniel Klein? Way back in the day, good old Daniel, wherever you go, there's always someone Jewish, that was Daniel. Roberta Bavin has just always been there to make sure that our cooking program, and not just our cooking program, but just anything else that I need was there. As far as teachers go, Penny Baron Shapiro lasted a long time in that art room and did a lot of really amazing things. Thank you so much, Penny. And I had some other long-term teachers I just want to mention. Cindy Olson, Esty, Betsy Nagel, Sarah Schaefer, and of course, Andrea Broadsley. And shoot, I'm probably forgetting millions of people. The Chekhovs are sitting here in the front row, and my goodness, what would Purim Carnival ever have been without them and Gary Greenberg, right? So, like I said, I can go on and on. So I will start with some names, and I will move on to tell you that I truly believe that Judaism and involvement in the Jewish community can contribute to making our children's lives meaningful and fulfilling. And I know that it is difficult to believe that during these times. And I admit that I'm very happy to be retired and not in Jewish education at this moment in American and world history, and I'm really happy to have turned this over to Susanna, because it's very tough. But Judaism stands the test of time, and Judaism will always be there for our children. I can also say that 30 years of being around your children has definitely made my life meaningful and fulfilling. I have loved each student in their own unique and special ways. Of course, I get to know some more than others. Bar mitzvah tutoring was a wonderful way for me to get to know some students, and I have some great memories of Moses migrating around my office and other really odd and bizarre things that we did during bar mitzvah tutoring. They still did manage to learn a tiny bit of Hebrew. The other way that I really enjoyed getting to know my students was with Purim Junior. When Amy and I put on Purim Junior, we really got to know those little drama kids so well, and I think we all just had a great time together. Suzanne already mentioned that I'm probably most proud of managing to keep so many of our teens involved in our religious school program. By being teachers or tutors, or we created a games enrichment and a library enrichment, and anything that we could do to keep them coming around. I am really, really proud of being there for them during that time in their life. And I've had some very deep and meaningful conversations with these teenagers, and I've had some silly conversations with these teenagers. So that's the kids. Then there are the parents. The parents, I'm telling you, parents can make or break an educator's happiness and an educational program. It's hard to believe this because you think you're just dropping your children off, but parents and educators are partners in that endeavor that my son so beautifully spoke about. It is not up to the Jewish educator to make your children Jews. That's the parent's job. It is up to us to be your partner in that and give you all of the assistance that we can. But if you parents do not bring your children to religious school, don't come to family programming, if you don't get involved in temple, if you don't show your children that there is something worthwhile in Judaism for you too, not just for them, but for you too, you're making our jobs impossible, and you are defeating your own purpose of wanting to raise Jewish children. So that is my really big plug to find something, anything, if it's not temple, something federation, something Jewish, as a parent, that you can do for yourself. Come to book group, come to the films, sisterhood, brotherhood, there's probably a whole bunch of stuff going on that I don't even know about. Do something, show your kids that, yeah, this whole thing is really worthwhile to me too. I'm almost done. And parents, one last thing, if you get a call from us and we tell you that your child has been disrupting a class, please believe us. Like, it's not like we have nothing better to do with our day, so hey, let's call Johnny's mom, you know, and say, oh, Johnny was really difficult today. No, we actually would probably be eating a donut, rather be eating a donut than talking to you about your child. So please listen to us and help us partner with you on that. I'm going to leave by thanking one last group of women that I have not thanked yet. Women that I am proud to call my replacements, and yes, everyone please note it took 3 to replace me. Susanna Grant, Sarah Schaefer, and Renee Bedinez, all 3 doing parts of what I had done. And I think, as far as I can tell, doing a beautiful job of it. I'm going to end with one little story. That's one of my very favorite last memories in the school. So if you are a very recent parent of a teen, you might even have a child that was involved in this story. It was the last year, it was a quiet day, low attendance, most of the classroom doors were open. I was in the office, probably talking to Susanna or Allison, and this just roll of raucous laughter just comes tearing down the hall, disrupting everything. And I mean, it was nice that it was laughter. I'm glad someone's happy, but come on now, you know, we are trying to learn here. So I go down the hall, and I keep going down the hall and down the hall, and the sound is coming from the art room. And in the art room are 4 teen teachers, supposedly, who happened to have a break during that time, and they were just having such a wonderful time together that they were hanging out in the art room like it was a youth group lounge, laughing up a storm, and one of them, yes, is here tonight. And yes, I had to tell them to, you know, please tone it down. But it was hard to get angry at that. And what I like to think of, and what I hope, is that that is the kind of environment that I created for my students at this school. A place where they can come and laugh, and feel comfortable, and feel at home, and be happy to be Jewish. And I would like to thank those 4 young women for that very special memory, and I would like to thank all of you for all of the special memories that I have of my 30 years. Here.
Here, take that to Sam. You forgot his book. Oh, so many years of fun, enjoyment, memories, and so many people here who I've seen enjoy all of that time together. From that sweet memory to the sweetness of our Kiddush, let's see, Wilson is going to help out with this, and dads are welcome to come and help out with the Kiddush. Moms came up, dads are welcome to come and join along too.
Can't just be me, y'all.
One. Have a little cup. You're coming up here. They can hang out wherever. You know, I just need Wilson up here, but everybody can come up if you want. Well, there's some. It's grape juice. If you want wine, there'll be more after the service. Ready? Get close. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei bari Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzav banu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzon yinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh b'reishit, ki hu yom tefilah l'mikra'im kodesh, zecher l'tziat mitzrayim, ki anu v'ata, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha, ve'ahava u'ratzon, yinchatanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh Hashavat. Left eye. It's the strong stuff. All right. We'll open the bar later. We welcome the spirit of Shabbat with L'chad Odi, the enticement of the Shabbat queen, and I think our head Shabbat queen this evening is Gianna, with all sorts of other Shabbat queens in the room to be part of her court. We do, at the final verse, we rise and face the entrance to welcome that spirit of Shabbat. Shamor v'sachor b'dibor echad, ish v'yanu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, l'shem u'tiferet v'litila, l'echad toti nikrat kala yalla yalla yalla, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, l'echad toti nikrat kala yalla yalla yalla, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lekuvanelcha, ki hi mekor ha'bracha, merosh mikeren nesuka, soch ma'aseh v'machshavat tchila, lecha toti likrat kala yalla yalla yalla, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha toti likrat kala yalla yalla yalla, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, hitoreri, ki va'orech u'mi'ori, uri, uri, shir daveri, kevod Adonai alayich nigla, lecha toti nikrat kala yalla yalla yalla, b'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha toti nikrat kala yalla yalla yalla, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. We rise and face the entrance. Holy v'shalom, materet ba'ala, gam b'simcha u'v'tzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, boi chala. You turn around. Lecha toti likrat kala yalla yalla yalla, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha toti likrat kala yalla yalla yalla, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. We just have one prayer that you could sit for before the one where you have to stand up, so it's up to you whether you want to sit or stand. I didn't see Molly come in. Molly? All right, on deck, Emmanuel. I'll bet you remember this one. Come on, help lead. It was just last week. You should still remember these. You didn't know you had a part tonight. It's okay.
Yigdal v'yikadash Shemei Rabba Yamad Yivarach Yirtei V'yamich Malchutei V'chayeh Von V'yom Echon Uchayeh Kevol Yisrael Bagala Bagala Uvizman Kariv V'yimeru Amen Yesh Me'Rabba Mevorach Le'olam Le'omaya Yivarach Yivarach V'yishtabach Yipar V'yitnaman V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitalev V'yitala Shemei Kedusha B'yivu Le'olam Miko Birchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Tamiran Belma V'yimeru Amen.
Thank you, sir. Good job. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamivora Baruch Adonai Hamivora Hamivora Leolam Baed Hamivora Hamivora Leolam Baed. You're welcome to join me in the English. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. We continue. O one and only God, you have made each of us unique and formed us to be united in one family of life. Be with us, Eternal One, as we seek to unite our lives with your power and your love. We proclaim now your oneness and our own hope for unity. We acclaim your creative power in the universe and in ourselves, the law that binds world to world and heart to heart. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. You may be seated. I have Louis listed. Is Louis here? There you are. Come on.
Ata, E, Adonai Elohecha, Behold Eloha, Uvkon Nishaha, Uvkon Mevusheha, Vehayu, Hagali, Ha'elem, Asher Anuhi, Mitaveha, Hayom, Olevaveha, Vishinam Tam, Levaneha, Veivata, Bam, Vishiteha, Verviteha, Uleteha, Madele, Ushokbeha, Uvkumeha, Ukshatam Leo, Oyadeha, Vehayun Vitotafo, Bedinahu, Taftam, Al Mizuzo Beteha, Uvishaleha, Leman Tiskiru, Baasitem, Comet Flotai, Lehitem Kedoshi, Leohem, Ani, Adonai, Elohehem, Asher Hotzim, Me'eretz Mitzrayim, Lehiot Lachem, Elohim, Ani, Adonai, Elohehem.
Choir, please. I don't usually like to do a prayer twice because there's actually a traditional reason for not doing that, but this is really about teaching our children, and it's also a beautiful melody.
Unto your children, speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise. Bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be a symbol between your eyes. Write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise, and when you rise.
I was hearing one of the choir kids from the back and thinking back when Rabbi Laura and I were training as student rabbis. Rabbi Laura would be on the bima in Cincinnati, and I would have our little one who's right about the same age as Sam, and I'd be holding him, and she would finish leading a prayer, and he couldn't contain himself from the background. Yay, Mom! It's beautiful to see our little ones now and as they grow up. Yeah. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there's one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, It has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice, as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. You know, we're going to be back into choir song right after this, so if y'all want to head back and just kind of sing along on this one too. But we're all going to be choir on this one. Let's do that again. I want to hear everyone. Yai lai lai. Yai lai lai la lai la lai la lai la lai. Yai lai lai la lai la lai la lai. Yai lai lai la lai la lai la lai la lai. Yai lai lai la lai la lai la lai. Micha mocha, micha mocha bai limadonai. Micha mocha meta bakodesh. Noratehi lo sefele. Noratehi lo sefele. Yai lai lai. Yai lai lai la lai la lai la lai la lai. Yai lai lai la lai la lai la lai. Yai lai lai la lai la lai la lai la lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Ashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom, L'shalom. Ve'hamidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. V'ros aleinu Sukkot Shamecha, V'ros aleinu Sukkot Shamecha. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us not long from crying. Prayer invites God to let God's presence suffuse our spirits, to let God's will prevail in our lives. Prayer cannot bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. Let's see, helping me with this section, Reese in London. That's what my notes say. Come on up. And we will all rise for the tefillah.
Be
silently with the thoughts and prayers in our own hearts. You may continue seated or standing as you prefer. And choir, if you want to make your way back. Now we offer our Misha Berach prayer of strength and healing to all those who could use it. Of course, at home on Zoom, if people want to type names into the chat of people they're thinking of, we invite you to do so. If there's someone you would like to lift up and want to say their name out loud, you can do it at any time or when I look your direction, of anyone who you think could use blessings of strength and healing.
Jim Case and other people.
Doug Weil, Michael Jacob, Joel Goldberg.
The hostages, people of Israel, people of Gaza, Ukraine, Gabriel Owen.
For all of them, for anyone who can use it, we offer our blessings of strength and healing.
May the source of strength
In addition, for the health of the hostages, we pray for the release of the hostages with a traditional prayer, which unfortunately is far older. We've been doing this for centuries, far older than it should be, but it's not a new problem for our people. Achenu kol beit Yisrael, achiotenu kol beit Yisrael, hantunim b'tzara uvashviya, ha'umdim bein bayam uvein bayabasha, hamakom yirachem alehem v'yotziim mitzara levacha, ume'afela le'ra umishibud legula hashta ba'agala uvizman kariv. Our brothers, the whole house of Israel, our sisters, the whole house of Israel, who are in distress and captivity, who wander over sea and land, may God have mercy on them and bring them from distress to comfort, from darkness to light, from slavery to redemption, now, swiftly, and soon. And we say, Amen. Before we recognize our board, both outgoing and incoming, which is one of our important things that we're doing tonight, I want to add a few specific thoughts for Gianna. Oh, no, it wasn't supposed to be that one. Over the years, we've had a lot of fun. We opened our evening with the shofar's call. At this time of year, it reminds us to think about our lives as we prepare for the upcoming high holidays. Last year, I argued that our lives probably aren't so much in the balance, like a few passages in the liturgy intimate. Frankly, the sections of the service that can be scary and off-putting to some of us. There are so many people who respond to the call when they hear it, and tonight we are able to honor and have honored someone who responded quite a few years ago and kept on responding year after year. One of the absolute most important aspects of our community is the education of our children. This community, as we've heard, cares deeply about having an engaging educational program for our youth, and Gianna worked for years to educate, engage, and inspire our kids. Then, when she could have retired quietly, she identified and trained our new educator, ensuring that our educational programs will continue to enliven our youth. They're lively, just you can see that. I've been through educator searches. By identifying and nurturing Susanna, Gianna saved us an immense amount of work, and more important, continued the value we have for engaging, enjoyable education. Change isn't easy. I may have frustrated Gianna a bit when I arrived. I tried to listen more and talk less. And as I acclimated, I got to observe how much Gianna deeply, deeply cares for our kids, and how much she cares that they will enjoy participating in our program. We spent countless hours wrestling over all aspects of congregational life in order to make everything we do as a community successful and responsible. I so much value the partnership that we created. It's always hard to let a good partnership go, but you set us up for success. And I know how much you're enjoying your retirement and the beautiful, loving family time that comes along with it. This year, when you hear the call of the shofar, I hope you can sit back and hear in it the ancient legacy that you have played a crucial role in carrying on for our community. The echoes of the shofar sound far beyond our walls, just as the ripples of your service travel in every direction all throughout the world in the shining Jewish lives of the many students you have inspired. You know, when Susanna was asking everyone to rise, I know without a doubt, whether you know it or not, that every single one of us, whether you were here for a program that Gianna helped create, you have absolutely been positively affected by her work, because it was not just at the moments she was there. There were so many times that the atmosphere that was created spilled beautifully over into so many other aspects of life. So every one of us, not only now but for years to come, will benefit by the beautiful work that Gianna has done for us. Thank you. Thank you. I've said many times that I start my prep for each week's words by consulting the Torah portion, whether I'm going to speak about the Torah verses or not. This week's Parsha is Shoftim, which I forgot to update on that slide, Shoftim, which was my bar mitzvah portion. Hey, it's even my bar mitzvah year here. But what concept shouted at me from that was life cycles. Last week we celebrated Emmanuel's bar mitzvah with the unique opportunity to hear not only his wonderful leadership, but his uncle's glorious baritone voice helping out with our music. Then, the very next evening, we gathered to mourn the tragic loss of 6 murdered hostages in Gaza. Emmanuel's family is Israeli. Uncle Gabi left the family gathering to again lead us in prayer. No one could have musically expressed our broken hearts better. We mourn the recent still raw loss of one of our beloved volunteers, Ron Miller. Just days before, however, I happily made my way down to Hanford to bless a new baby into our community. We honor Gianna's many years of service educating our youth and celebrate the participation of each of our children. Yay. As much as I enjoy the youth, I'm also enamored with history and legacy and thrilled that several of our new board members represent generations of Temple Beth Israel history as they serve alongside several new members of our community. The Jewish community has been an important part of Fresno and our surroundings since the city was founded, and really even before. We've just dedicated the 4th school in Fresno named for positive role models in the Jewish community, as the Murray and Francine Farber campus was just dedicated. We've come a long way since we first met in Levy's dry goods store. And I love seeing the dots connect all the way back and know that we will continue to see great contributions to the local community from the TBI family. This year, as we install our new board, we have an additional example of legacy and continuity. This one's just fun. Independence Hall, Tel Aviv. I really enjoy taking pictures of people taking pictures, and the kid in the painting behind you was just checking you out. I love that. So here's my challenge to go with that legacy and continuity. Take a good look at our new president. I know you can't see him real well in this shot, but you'll have an opportunity. And then go over to the wall of presidents and find his father without looking at the names. I'll bet you can do it. And as we honor and bless this new board, I put the weight on your shoulders, new board, that I have no doubt you will carry lightly and with pride. The weight of 105 years of our congregation as we look to just as many and more years to come serving the Jewish community locally and, as is our tradition, serving the community beyond our walls as integral parts of the community in which we live. Taking seriously our ancient tradition of tikkun olam, making our world a better place. You are answering the shofar's call. Before we bless our incoming leaders, let's recognize and honor the service of those who have completed theirs. Okay, I could ask you all to come up. Maybe you could just stand when I mention your name. It's up to you all. If you want to come up, you're welcome to. But I'll start with our outgoing presidents, Stephanie Mugridge and Benjamin Taxa. Benjamin, I believe, is sick at home, but perhaps online. There's Stephanie. Hi. They continue on our board as immediate past presidents, helping guide and inform the current board as parliamentarians and advisors in our traditions. Between the two, they have served on the finance and investment committees, personnel practices, and nominated committees, among a multitude of tasks too numerous to mention. Thank you. Roberta Bavin. Back in the back. There's Roberta. Purple, always in purple. Roberta stepped in to serve as the immediate past president this year as we did not have one available. She came to that position after serving in countless other roles and as a longtime dedicated member of the board of directors. Serving as past president, Roberta's experience was integral in informing the current and past boards on our historical practices and procedures. We appreciate her continued advice and ongoing participation on the Sisterhood Leadership Council. Meryl Wren. I didn't see Meryl come in. Meryl served as our most recent treasurer, stepping into the most difficult position at that time when no one else would step forward. Meryl volunteered without hesitation to help wherever needed, and we greatly appreciate her dedication and enthusiasm. Dr. Jonathan Grossman, one of whose daughters is proudly pointing at him, headed our security committee during a crucial time and important transition. He was integral to updating us on current security procedures, and in particular making arrangements for and overseeing the updating of our emergency evacuation resources. Lola Pertskin, who is not living in the area anymore because she revived our youth leadership representative with an ever-present cheerfulness. Lola moved on to college at UC Irvine, yay, and yet continues to serve our community as a Hebrew tutor for us here from afar. Robin Cadet, also not in the room, served on the board as the sisterhood representative and also participated in the most recent nominating committee. Robin continues to serve as an integral part of the Sisterhood Leadership Council. Tracy Bradford finished her term as an at-large board member and also volunteered on the Finance Committee with an extra watchful eye on the budget. Tracy has also served as a member of the Sisterhood Leadership Council. Hannah Krebs. Did I see Hannah? There's Hannah. Yay! One of my heroes. Finished her member-at-large term on the board, but her commitment to our community continues. Hannah continues to be an integral part of the Caring Committee. Hannah participates in our Retention Committee and shows up to volunteer anywhere extra help is needed, both within our community and all over the city. Watch out, when you go to one of those great demonstrations, no one is as fiery as Hannah. We're so proud. Zachary Smith is not here with us this evening, but he finished his term as an at-large member of the board just in time for some exciting, busy family celebrations to come. He continues to help tremendously by filling in with song leading whenever I'm not available. We would also like to recognize Amy Schmidt's leadership. I saw Amy. And we had an error in last year's ceremony and missed mentioning her service, but we want to properly thank Amy now for so many years of countless contributions to our community leadership. Amy co-chaired our Religious Practices Committee with Roberta Bavin and has long helped out with our nominating committee. She continues to participate in the Sisterhood Leadership Council and for several years has co-directed the adorable Junior Purim Spiel with Gianna and now Susanna. These are just a few of the many ways Amy has contributed to our community. Thanks for your many years and ongoing dedication to our congregation. One more important mention, Ron Miller. Ron served as our most recent chair of Land and Building. Ron died almost 2 weeks ago after battling health setbacks for months. In addition to his family's mourning, we are all bereaved. His cheery presence brightened our campus as he unhesitatingly stepped forward to help out in a difficult and crucial area. We always enjoyed schmoozing with him and learned more fascinating things about his life each time we spoke together. I know his warm and gentle spirit will continue to be felt in our community. We have a long list of and I realize at home on Zoom, you're not going to be able to see the teeny writing on this. It's not even easy in this room. But we want to recognize all of our incoming leaders. I'm going to ask you all to come up for this as we do it, as we mention it. So I'm going to read the list. If you're here, please come forward. President, Alan Birnbaum. Immediate past presidents, Stephanie Mugridge and Benjamin Taxa. Vice President of Administration, Hillary Levine. Vice President Fundraising, Betsy Nagel. Vice President Membership, Elizabeth Castle. Treasurer, Whitney Light. Secretary, Sarah Schaefer. Security Committee Chair, Robin Gross, who's probably guarding us from the back of the room. You can come up back there, whatever you prefer. Where was I? Youth Group Representative, Bay Garlick. Brotherhood Representative, Jason Berger. Sisterhood Representative, Alita Wolf. Building and Grounds Committee Chair, Ron Schaefer, who may also be out on the Security Committee duty. Religious Practices Committee Chair and Choir Member, Judith Raposo. Retention Committee Chairs, Whitney and Hitana Brown. Diversity Committee Chair, Kathy Yarmo. Members at Large, Susan Affleck, Jennifer Tully, Sarah Bouquet, and David Wolf. And we mentioned myself, Renee, and Susanna serve as ex officio members of our board and committees. Look at this amazing group. Y'all ready? I mean, you've already been doing this for... Yeah, we're several months into this, so they've been hard at work for some time. As I said, one of our greatest strengths has always been creating a community to share our lives with. And I've had the honor of being there to help facilitate moments for just about all of you. I've had the honor of being there at Life Cycles for just about every family here. B'nai Mitzvah, weddings, consecration, sadly some funerals. We gather for tragedy and comfort. May we also gather for more and more simchas, joyous occasions to come. And at many of these special moments, we offer a blessing for joyous occasions, for reaching special milestones, the priestly benediction. So y'all got to help with this, because this is the community that serves all of us, and we all do this together. So to do the blessing, I'm going to ask you all to please rise. And if you can do the Birkat Kohanim, you make a shin with each of... Spock didn't make this up. This is an ancient part of our tradition. I'm told it's a genetic predisposition. I don't know. But we offer this blessing. Okay, here we go. All right, and you're going to help at the end of each line. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. We all say amen, big and loud. Amen. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Amen. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's presence shine upon you and give you peace and calm, which is one of the most wanted things that we can get during our leadership time. The wisdom to lead beautifully, and one of the most, you can put the hands down, and one of the most important aspects of leadership, moments of fun and laughter, because that's what it's really all about. And we say, Amen. Y'all can stay up here. We're going to do the Aleinu. We turn towards the ark for this and join together. And yes, please open. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol latet gedula liotzer breshit shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot v'lo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama shelo sam chelkenu kahem v'gohor aleinu kechol hamona v'anachnu korim u'mishnachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar Adonai lemelech kol haaretz vayom lahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo be seated for a moment. We share these moments together, the beautiful life cycle moments and the tough ones. At home, please, if someone wants to add names for Kaddish, please write Kaddish before adding additional names. This is a tough one. We've had a lot of tough ones. I'll read the list that we maintain, and then if people have additional names to add, we invite you to do so. In our congregational family this week, we mark the yard sites of Henry Blatt, Arnold Cohen, Terry Sue Fagan, David Freeman, Gladys Korn, Sheldon Kushner, Stephen McKinley, Morris Michelson, Shirley, I think that should be Radding, Calmer Rosenstein, Morton Rosenstein, Norman Rudy, Abe Siegel, Betty Silverman, Alfred Ben Sokol, and Libby Ziller. And we mourn the recent passing of Ron Miller, husband of Jane, father of Greg, brother of Carolyn and Suzanne. We also keep in our hearts those who needlessly lost their lives in Gaza, the hostages, all innocent lives. May they all come home safe. Those who are remaining, come home safely soon. Are there other names that people would like mentioned this evening for Kaddish? For them,
373 Israeli military personnel.
thank you. For them, for all those we keep in our hearts at this time, as well as those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, we rise as a community. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divra hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayei uvyomei uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'gala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivorach leolam umei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudsha brihu. Le'ela minko birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May all of their memories be for beautiful blessings. Amen. You may be seated. Sit down. Come on up. So, are you the only president who's a child of the president?
I'm not sure. I'll have to take a look at the board which we have out front. This is a board that shows all of our presidents from the very first one in the 1920s. I know that my father had the honor of being president of our congregation downtown for 3 years from 1963 to 1966, and beyond that served a total of 15 years on our board of directors. And it's a memory and a tradition, and I feel myself as an obligation. And that is in addition to the role that my late mother played primarily on our education committee to make sure that we had the type and quality of education that befitted a congregation of this sort. The one name in the youth scores tonight, of course, is Shirley Radding. I remember her fairly well. Her husband was the physician for both my parents. We now face a challenging year, a wonderful year, a year in which I think this congregation can grow, should grow, and it will be our privilege and our need to grow in terms of level of participation, finding the people in our community who are Jewish, not affiliated, who would benefit, and we would benefit, to make this a larger congregation, make sure that all of us understand the importance of financially supporting this congregation, because this is a great institution. We are fortunate to have it. We are fortunate to have this building since 1992. And with that, I say, thank you, everybody. It's going to be a great year. Take care.
And in addition to giving in the many ways we do, on Sunday you have the opportunity to give blood. As well, so that'll be going on with the blood drive while we have September Fest with all sorts of fun happenings on Sunday, as well as our school comes back into session. So we look forward to seeing everyone. Everyone, of course, whether you've got school kids or not, is welcome to come out and join us for all of that. If the choir will come on up again for one last song before we head into Oneg, and this is one that could use extra percussion. Yes, please. We haven't practiced this entire configuration before, but y'all know it, so let's do it. Whichever one you like. Okay. Oh, say shalom Ibrahim, say shalom aleinu, ve'avo Yisrael, ve'avo yoshvei tevel v'inu. Amen. Oh, say shalom. Shabbat Shalom. I think we have a beautiful oneg back in there. We'll all go join together. Shabbat Shalom. So wonderful to see you all. Yeah,